awaken. Are you ready for some spiritual manna? Hello and welcome to the Good Info Cafe, where multiple intelligences meet each day. I'm JK. Today as it is in heaven on earth, as it is in heaven today. All right, so welcome. It's so much fun to see everybody here at the Good Info Cafe as it is in, because we all would like the world to be like heaven, so on earth as it is in, or nirvana. I know these other words don't always, but when I say these words, I'm talking about like heaven, nirvana, ideal, utopia, and yes, different systems have used these words, and so I'm not tying it to the system, and I can't believe I'm wearing this hat, but spring has sprung. It's not officially spring, it's already spring. Anyway, it's beautiful out today here in the Washington, D.C. area. But, so I'm going through everything and came across this hat, my daughter's hat. And looks like it's not official yet, but looks like we're going to have to move. Can't afford rent here at this beautiful place that is really lots of land. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's beautiful. And the all that kind of stuff. So have to decide pretty soon, and then all that kind of stuff. But it's time to spring clean and organize. Need pack boxes, all that kind of stuff. Need to do that anyway, and not just anywhere, just here. So I got to remember to do the whistle tone. Developing that. I only do it while I'm on. Anyway, I'm going to continue with the lyrics. Love your enemies, even if you have to kill them. And then, Jerusalem, the old city Jerusalem map. Go over a few of the cool things about that I've learned since I discovered my birthmark is in the shape of Old City Jerusalem. But it's an ugly old with varicose veins and all that from lots of years of being a weekend warrior in sports and beating up my legs, especially because of soccer. And then maybe a Walkman story about the Walkman that came out in 1978-79 by Sony. And then a show and tell that I did, a friend did. I might want to tell that. But also I want to pause because the Good Info Cafe, as it is in heaven, I want to thank some friends of mine, some amazing friends. Got me choked up. They've been helping me in this tough time. Dave and Francis and Ted have been amazing. And I sent a note to my friend saying thank you, and I'm going to send one to my other friend. And he got choked up and all that kind of stuff. I got choked up when I was writing it. And then the feminine and masculine, I want to thank, it's kind of not related, but I want to thank my visitors. Well, I like the fact that the visitors that I have that have been regulars are male and female. I think it's about even between males and females. I mean, XX and XY, it's not what people perceive or think they want to be and all that kind of stuff, which is fine. Just saying the XX and XYs, people who were born male, female, because I can't always figure it out, but I will. I had students that were wanting to be a different gender, all that kind of stuff, and I love them, and I love them. They're awesome people, smart, creative. So, address that one another time. But I love that the visitors here on this channel that have been consistent in the last 5 months, male, female, very even between them. So I might be going over to I'm pointing over here to the poster with people's names, and I might highlight 5 And it's clear now that it's music. The Good Info Cafe delivers spiritual manna through music, fun, big serious concepts, and the God of Abraham and Jesus. So those are the four main things. And then specifically, the God of Abraham and Jesus is honoring Jenny Moore, Task Force. Boy, do I miss her. Oh, my God. Oh, God, me and McDuff and George and Jenny. Oh, so we have to be inspired by her in spirit. Because what a team. Oh, my God. We always got to talk, I've said this, talking about the book of Revelation. So she's a big part of this channel. And so I'm always going to be bringing music, fun, big serious concepts, and the book of Revelations, thinking about Jenny. So let me just say the McDuff's live chat discussion tutorial teaching with George and McDuff was awesome today. And then the commenters, Kevin and Terry and Connie, and I don't want to miss anybody, there are others, awesome commenting. And it is kind of building as the weather gets warmer to meet at Navy Memorial. And hopefully, and we'll see where it goes. It's always authentic, and there's a lot of spontaneity. We do talk about, things, and I'll say, George, what's the latest? And we talk, but it's always really quick. George is like, let's go, turn on. And I need my lyrics. And lyrics is the one that I'm going to remember the least. I'll remember the melodies a little better, but if I was doing this professionally and performing, I'd memorize the lyrics, believe me. But I have a lot going on, and this month is going to be packing, doing some chauffeuring, and getting ready for May 1st to see about another place. DC is so expensive. It's one of the most expensive places in the world. I hit a sour note, but it was on purpose. Not really, but maybe. And then thank them, 5-month mark. Yeah, we're at the 5-month mark. That's why I'm going to be talking about the visitors, because there's 24 slots. I'm looking at 12 slots, 24 slots to really be a big part of this channel. And there can be people who get in the slots and then aren't around, and then someone else fills the slots. But also I'm looking for the core 24. The core 24. I got to write that down. The core 24 of people who follow. So without a lot of attention to the channel, I can prepare for if it gets more attention, but also can communicate with everybody. Okay, the nutritious input is now time for nutritious input pretty soon. Isn't that nice looking? Look at that shine. Oh, yeah. So get your food out, or your nutritious whatever. If you want to chew on a bark or sarsaparilla branch, go for it. Herbs, nutritious input, nutritious in, nutritious out, crap in, crap out, input, processing, output, input, processing, output. This should be at the end. The Good Info Cafe, as it is in. So I'll have to try to remember. So wherever I go, I still plan to make the videos, and you guys are awesome. And then I have some Bible verses today. 1 Corinthians 10:31, or 1 Corinthians, as President Trump would say. And all those smug, holier than thou, mocking him for that. I know some were also just giggling, laughing because it sounded funny. But some say 1 Corinthians. No biggie. It's the concepts that are important, like God's name. God is God, anyhow, bum, 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 God. Oh yeah, for it don't matter if the calf get fatter. God is God, anyhow, bum, 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 God. Got all the power God gives it. So it doesn't matter. Oh, I'm just going to do that because it itched. Sure, don't like it. Boom, boom. Rockin' the cash bar. Rockin' the cash bar. And then something from Revelations. Matthew 6:24. Revelations 3:20. Because they're relevant to what's going on in this. So, and I think I'm going to grade Jesse Smollett, however you say his name, that the charges were dropped. I see him as a lost soul, and there are plenty of other more powers that be that I think were influencing him. And that's the big picture, Core 24. So I think I'll just do that right now. Let's talk about just some that I'm going to highlight. When I bring up other names, it doesn't mean that you're not part of it. So, but just thinking about Brent and Cindy and Kevin, and haven't seen Rebecca Ann in a while, so I hope she's okay and going to come back at some point. Frank. So there we have it. And thank you to those who, and not just those, I was just highlighting their names, but there's the outside. We see lots of deer. It's just gorgeous. But I'll have to be leaving, and we are paying rent and all that kind of stuff. Not even owning, that's a long story, but I'm strictly middle class or even a little bit below solid middle class, because there are a lot of middle class who have homes that have the mortgage. Unfortunately, I don't. That's a long story. But so that was that. Now, love your enemies, or no, let's do our food. So, not much smell, but I know when I get it open, there's going to be some good smell. And so these are tangerines, right? Or nectarines? Tangerine. I don't know. Darn it, I should know. Yeah, that's what they are. And even these smell. Oh, that's... What a great package. You know, talk about packaging. Who came up with this The God of Abraham came up with this packaging. And why not just kind of go with what's... Not always what's natural, you know, do whatever is natural because, you know, animals do that. We're sentient beings and we're critical thinkers, and so that takes us and makes us different from the animals. And I guess the theory of evolution talks about, I guess we came from goop. That's where we evolved from goop and came from rocks, because I think rocks came before living things. So somehow rocks turned into to humans with all those steps in between. Succulent is the word that comes to mind here at the Good Info Cafe, where, okay, so the touch, this is nice. It's a nice touch. Great smell. I'm about to taste, but I want to read Revelation 3:20. I was surprised to see this one in the book of Revelations. Look! Exclamation mark. Here I stand at the door and knock. If you hear me calling and open the door, I will come in and we will share a meal as friends. So that's who we are. We're friends. Friends. An almost song came to me. Oh well. And then the other one, 1 Corinthians, whether therefore ye eat or drink, and I'm getting this from the King James Version, hopefully, I think it's 16:11, and that one got it down. And King James did pay for it or give the resources for it. We also picked people kind of fighting denominations on either side and had them, you get together and you make this work, and it's incredible, and that's how you do it. I believe in the second coming of Jesus, and then he rules from Jerusalem that has God's name written on it, a big sheen in the valleys, that he will do that kind of thing, get people who hate each other together and frickin' work it out, dum-dums, who get, oh, okay, it just squeezed out. So this is 1 Corinthians or 1 Corinthians, and that's okay. Concepts, the heart is what's important. Whether therefore ye eat or drink or whatsoever ye do, whatever is in the Bible, whatsoever ye do, because I heard that all the time when I was teaching middle school, do all to the glory of God. Okay? To the glory of God. Or if you don't believe in God, you're welcome here. To the glory of reasoning, logic, intelligence, whatever your God is, because guess what? Everyone has a God. And I just want to go with the one true God of Abraham. Abram, who became Abraham up on that Mount Moriah, which is right here on my birthmark where the Mount Moriah is. So, let's share a meal as friends. And I'm pretty sure that was Jesus speaking, because Jesus spoke to John and gave him this. Others think someone else wrote Book of Revelations in the 600s or 700s. I don't go with that one. So, yeah. Thought Police. Let's see if I can get it like this. Because I wrote the song, so I should know the lyrics. But let's see here. Goofy hat. It's not the same chord as George Harrison's chord on A Hard Day's Night. His is a something 13th. I forget what this one's called, but it's I did know the name. Love your enemies, even if you have to kill them. Ruling control freaks don't care a damn about you. Unite the fight, left to right, LGBTS and black to white. The great awakening worldwide. Strap on in for a wild ride. Where is God? What have they done to your creation? Oh, my Lord, you said to buy a sword. Hate can be a good thing if you're hating something bad. Evil is something bad to hate. And you'll say, yeah, yeah, yeah. Unite the fight, left to right. Let the scales fall from your eyes. Watch out for the thought police. They'll enslave your mind and what you're meant to be. Where is God? What have they done to your creation? Oh, my Lord, you said to buy a sword. Unite the fight, calling all sinners seeking good. We, the people worldwide, brother and sisterhood. Nonviolence is our default and our implement. Last resort, kill in defense of the innocent. Ye show grace, help the poor in spirit, always with us. Resist social engineers and the treasonous among us, etc. Energy, weapons, and drugs. But I'm going to go over the other lyrics that I didn't go over last time. Did I get here? Yeah, so I had... Kanye eyes wide, they made your friends leave your side. To medicate, yay, and keep the better plan away. In the info war, the PR media whores peddle smut. Matrix robot NPCs trading on the scuttle. But where's good reliable info, not idiocracy? Behold, right action, information, literacy. Change is unchanging, awake or asleep. 70, 10, 10, 10, individuality and unity. And then it goes from Ellsberg to Jones, this ain't no fun. Isn't this better than that manufactured music? You are getting authentic, live. I mean, I'm taping it, but I'm not changing it. Doing this live, this is my first take. I'm feeling like we're going to be around 25, 30. So then it goes from Ellsberg to Jones, this ain't no fun. So I saw Daniel Ellsberg at a congregation, Unitarian congregation in Bethesda, Maryland, on a Sunday, I think, where Daniel Ellsberg had just turned 87. He gave a great talk, and it was packed in this beautiful, all wall of windows looking out to this gorgeous, small little forest, etc. incredible setting. And then on that Wednesday after that, I went and saw Alex Jones, and he's not anti-Semite. He's 90% of what you hear about Alex Jones is misinformation and disinformation. Absolutely, okay, 80%, but the majority is lies and misinformation. So disinformation is a lie. You knowingly say something you know is not true, or partial lies, all that kind of stuff. And then misinformation is when you pass on information without pass on bad information without checking it first. Because you could unknowingly pass on good information, then that's not misinformation, that's not bad. You just didn't check it. It turns out you were right. So it's when you don't check and it's bad, harmful information, and you pass it on. That's misinformation. So I see Daniel Ellsberg, awesome. I have a picture of me with him. I have a picture no, I didn't get a picture of me with Alex Jones, but I did get a picture of me with Roger Stone. He's being persecuted, and I talked to him for a while because he knows my neighbor, who is an awesome person, great kids, and I hope he's on the good side. And so from Ellsberg to Jones, this ain't no fun, nuclear dirty bomb blocking the sun. And Alex Jones talks about that, and so did Daniel Ellsberg. One of the main things was his fear of the nuclear explosion, that kind of thing. And so that's where they were together. War is profitable for the scum, whom we outnumber 100. Whom we outnumber 100 plus to 1. Anyway, I'll get it. But so war is profitable for the scum. Know that for a very small majority, it's a very small minority of our 7 billion, if that's how many we have, and we don't have an overpopulation problem. Those are also misinformation, disinformation. Those are lies and misinformation. We have an overcrowded problem, overcrowded in many places around the globe. So that's going to be another subject. Whom we outnumber. So that came up on McDuff's discussion with George today, whom we outnumber 100 plus to 1. So it's not just 100 to 1, it's more than 100, but whom we outnumber 100 plus to 1. It is our right, it is our duty, rising liberty needs no leaven, to throw off the tyrants on earth as it is in heaven. We, the people worldwide, withdraw our consent, failure of our leaders in and out of government. We, the people worldwide, we withdraw our consent, by the consent of the governed. We withdraw our consent because the leaders have blown it bad. So anyone in position of power, you better either already have your act together or get your act together. Heaven or hell, what will it be? This is a question for all you listening. Heaven or hell, what will it be? Because we're caught between eternities. Oh, there I say. Heaven or hell, what will it? It's amazing how I think like myself. But I don't always agree with myself. So when people say, oh, I like him, but I don't agree with everything. People don't agree with everything of themselves. There's nobody who's been consistent since age 7 or 10 or 15 or when they became an adult 21 who's always been consistent with everything they think. So that's a dumb statement. Well, I don't agree with everything he says. Who do you agree with everything? Well, myself. Oh, really? But 4 years ago you said this and now you're saying something different. That is the stupidest thing. The other one is you can be anything you want to be. Bull. You can say it. There's so many of those that are they're bad for the world. This ain't no revolution, it is revelation. We won't take the mark of the beast, abomination of desolation. China, social credit score, Skynet even stupider. Trying to replace God since Lucifer. Stay awake, feel the resonance, ride the wave. All the answers already exist, you're not their slave. The God you are waiting for is waiting for you. Love the Spirit, holy, InfoWars survival. Feel the good energy. Unite the fight. Here we go, unite. Where am I? Unite. Help me. Unite the fight. Yeah, that's it. Unite the fight, feel God's wrath. I don't have it. Unite. It's not that high. Unite the fight. So, oh, sorry everybody. It's unite the fight. There it is. Unite the fight. I think. Unite the fight, feel God's wrath. Technocrat psychos in our path. 1776 worldwide. Just come on down and enjoy the ride. Where is God? What have they done to your creation? Oh, my Lord, you said to buy a sword. Love your enemies, even when it's kill or be killed. Love your enemies. While I'm eating, that's when I do my commercial, and I'm wearing my America's whatever. What does it even say? Oh, America, yeah, my shirt. Because America is the most diverse place in the world, the most tolerant of all different perspectives in the world. There are plenty of dum-dums who have positions of power who are not tolerant. But most everyday Americans are awesome. They hold the door for you. It's just amazing. Also, my t-shirt and my book. It's over there. The ebook is the only thing that's available. A good friend of mine has helped me with it, so I'll let you know when that's out. But that's my Christian extremist equals extreme love. Or Jesus extremist, or universe extremist. For those that don't believe in God, or don't believe in Jesus and all that, he did exist. There was a person from Nazareth who, all that kind of stuff. There's so much evidence outside of Christian evidence, outside of that are just historians. So much. So I'm wrapping it up because I want to get below 30. So, here we go. Thank the visitors. Oh, and I have to have my question of the day, which I haven't thought of. So did I get everything else? Oh yeah, Jerusalem. So here we go. And I got to do my whiteboard. I love George did the, look at that. Look. George did some writing stuff down on cards. So here is the Mount of Olives. I didn't show that last time. So this is the eastern part, and here's a Temple Mount where the Dome of the Rock is, over the rock where supposedly Abraham was going to sacrifice Isaac. Showed God he was going to do it, and God's like, I like that guy, and I'll stop him, and God knew he was going to stop him. Here's a mosque. That's really not technically a mosque, the Dome of the Rock. It's, I forget, memorializing or honoring something. Here's a mosque here. This is where the city of David was. They already have the archaeology. Archaeology has proven that. Mount Zion is probably about like this, so it's outside, inside. Sultan Suleiman, who made these walls, they finished in 1541, said build them over the ancient walls. So ancient walls are also similar, but he said to make sure he got out here to Mount Zion. And the two architects and builders didn't, so I think he beheaded them, and they have tombs here somewhere. Jaffa Gate has different names. These are gates. This is the Wailing Wall that was probably a retaining wall, because Jesus said the buildings will not be standing on one rock, one stone upon the other. And if Jesus said it, it's true. But this could have been a retaining wall, the Wailing Wall. And so this is the western side. Maybe I say the western side so people don't get confused. Damascus Gate. Here's where Jesus might have been crucified. Here's another place Jesus crucified. The Ark of the Covenant could be over here. It was taken out by Nehemiah, I think, because they had noticed that they were about to be besieged and all that. So he had time to take it under a tunnel. And also Garden of Gethsemane, all that kind of stuff. And JK's birthmark, which is a speckled lentiginous nevus. All right, so I did talk about, I know I'm wrapping it up, I did talk about how we get information, and that is just what we're born with. We have information in there, our blueprint, and then how that interacts with the environment. So you can get it from all different sources, but try to find the God voice, the God instructions, and I know I'm going to go a little bit over, but you guys are awesome, and love your enemies. It always stopped at 31:25 before, so I'm going to wrap it up certainly before that. Oh, Jesse Smollett charges dropped is it's really down here, the fact that those charges were dropped. But he has state support or powers that be support. That's why. But he needs to watch out because they throw people under the bus. There's no honor among thieves. I want to maybe add something. So if this is one, meaning the most important issue of life is whether we survive, life survives or not, maybe is number one. The Jesse Smollett thing is like number 1,000. Smollett, but and there are a lot of LGBT, a lot in the LGBT community who are very frustrated with him for doing that, faking a hate crime. Then real hate crimes get less. Anyway, so it's very bad. But the concept of faking something when you're on one side to make it look the other side that you hate look bad, that's, let's put that at number 40 right now. So I am going to see about, and it would be the opposite. So up here is your A+, but if I'm ranking the